Welcome back to Quinte Connection. Thanks for joining us. Well, great to have Brandy Hodge from Local United Way on the show to talk more about their 2024 capital campaign. But joining us from British Columbia now is mental health counselor, comedian, and founder of Stand Up for Mental Health. David Grenier joins us. So, David, so great to have you joining us from BC. Thanks so much.
Hey, glad to be here. Great to be on your show. Thanks for having me.
One of our viewers and a longtime community member here, Sarah from We Thrive, put the bug in ear saying you've got to get David on the show. He did a great show in Belleville in late November. So Stand Up for Mental Health, David. How did this one get started?
Okay, so Stand Up for Mental Health is my program teaching stand up to folks like myself with mental health conditions. I have bipolar, and it started 20 years ago. I was teaching, so I teach this stand-up comedy course at one of our local community colleges that had nothing to do with mental health. But occasionally I would see people come through the class and they would have a life-changing experience. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to give this to people who wanted comedy, but who also wanted the life-changing experience? And that's what gave me the idea for Stand Up for Mental Health.
How long has this been going, David?
It's been going 20 years. I can't believe it. It started in 2004. And, I figured, let's hope to get a 3-month class out of this. And then it just grew and it kept rippling out. We were featured in a CBC award-winning documentary, and that really put us on the map. I've run this class in over 50 cities in Canada, the US, and Australia in partnership with mental health organizations in those cities.
Is this your full-time job now, David?
This is my full-time gig, and it has been for the past 20 years. I mean, I still do a tiny little bit of counseling. I think I have 2.5 clients, but yeah, I know, half a client. But no, Stand Up for Mental Health is my full-time gig.
How has this helped you, David, especially with the years of bipolar? What does this kind of bring for your own personal life at the end of the day?
Well, what it is that it's really helped me with my internalized sense of shame because I used to be really embarrassed having bipolar and some of the things that have happened because my bipolar mainly manifests as depression. So I've been in and out of psych wards, I've had suicide attempts, and just being able to talk about that through comedy and having people laugh and go, wow, that is hilarious. It's really given me confidence and strength.
The conversations around mental health and seeking health have really changed, especially the last 10 years or so. Just, I'm a
Yes.
younger person and I've even seen this shift, right? So, David, are you
Totally.
finding that more people reaching out for programs like this than, let's say, when you first started?
Well, something, we've never had a problem recruiting. It's amazing how many people out there, because you would think in the mental health community, people are afraid and they don't want to do it, but there's just so many people who are just captivated by the audience and by the idea of doing stand-up comedy. People go, I have wanted to do this all my life, and finally I get a chance to do it in a place that is safe, where people who really get me. So people are captivated by this whole experience.
When you go from city to city, David, how does it work? You're there for a couple days, anyone can kind of join, you do a big show at the end. How does it work?
Works this way. So the organization, in this case, We Thrive, they recruit the comics. I train them virtually over a 6 or 12 week class. And then once they're trained, I fly in and we do a big show.
Nice. So when's the next show here in Belleville?
It's in early June, and We Thrive is currently recruiting comics for this show to participate in the class. And so this will be our third show in Belleville. The first one was a live show where I came in and performed with the comics. And then the second one was a show where I actually zoomed in to MC the show. So I was on a screen and the comics were playing live. So that was a really interesting experience, and it worked out really well. And then the next show, of course, I'll be flying in and performing with the comics.
So for folks who are watching this here in Belleville, they want to get involved in this, they have to be an existing client with We Thrive? Do they contact?
No. Anyone anyone that feels captivated, that has some sort of a mental health issue, anyone that hears about it, please come and apply, and we'd love to have you.
What makes a good stand-up comic, David?
What makes a good stand-up comic? So I would say typically stand-up comics are people who are sort of misfits and class clowns who always say the wrong thing in the wrong place, um, who yeah, who really like attention. Stand-up comics, we really, really like attention, and we like to be the center of attention. And I think that that defines a good stand-up comic.
When you're doing your own routines, David, do you have like a theme you like to stick to? Do you like to talk about personal experiences or what's in the news? What's kind of your stick, I guess?
So I talk a lot about mental health. That's the, a large part of my routine is mental health, my experiences with mental health, my experiences with bipolar, going to see psychiatrists, getting on medication, all that stuff is a big part of my routine.
For folks who want to learn more, where do they go, David?
They can just Google Stand Up for Mental Health. The website is standupformentalhealth.com, but just Google Stand Up for Mental Health. And what they'll find is not only information about the program and myself, but we have a whole bunch of videos of comics that I've trained from Vancouver to Australia and back. So it's a great place to go when people want some inspiration, when they want some laughs. And what I tell people is if you know someone that's going through a rough time, tell them. I know right now you may feel like you may never get better because that's how it feels sometimes when you're in that horrible black place. Go to this website, see what's possible. These people have been through what you've been through, and if they can do it, so can you. And maybe stand up isn't the thing that people want to do, but they see people who have achieved amazing things. And I think people see that and go, you know something? Because once you've done stand up, you can do anything. You can go out, we've had people take the program, they've gone out and got jobs or gone back to school. It's just so wonderful and confidence building.
Yeah, once again, that's a great way to end it. David, thanks so much. Great meeting you. Safe travels for 2025. Hope to see you in Belleville.
Okay, thank you very much.